Okay, it's official when I see the countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live. Welcome to the GG Factor. Man, I'm always excited to be here. Sometimes I have to do a little solo thing like this, and I don't mind because, boy, there's a lot going on in America right now. And I'm here to give you the GG perspective tonight. That's Gregory Griffith, letting you know that there's some things going on and we don't pay attention to them, and we obscurely let them. They'll have serious implications, serious impact on us. So I'm speaking about health and wealth, education, the economy, politics, global perspectives, what's going on in America. One of the first stories that's going on tonight, man, that's really out there, and I know we need to pay attention to it, is I live here in Florida, in South Florida, and woo, somebody, speaking of the actual, should I say, the Surgeon General, man, made a decision this week along with Governor DeSantis, and man, something's going on. I don't understand it. I don't know what the deal could be. I don't know why. And all I can say to you is this. I live in Florida. I'm a retired teacher. And I'm here to tell you, man, that there's some things going on that I don't understand it. I know when I was a kid, everybody had to have a vaccine, whether you wanted one or not, because it's preventive measures. So tonight, before I do anything, I'm going to say welcome to the GG Factor once again. I'm going to stop my music and tell you this, man, that at the end of the day, it's kind of scary. What are they telling me over here, Maru? They're giving me some kind of box here that's kind of weird. Well, we'll take that out. We'll see it. Yeah. Cancel that. No, we'll keep it. Sorry about that. They were trying to put some different things on my live stream here, and I got to make sure I keep it happening there. Oh, well, officially though, I'm going to stop the music and say to you guys, welcome to the show. Tonight is a very interesting night for me because I always say to myself, when I'm the one with the perspectives, I don't want to feel like I'm being so biased, but I can't quantify. And I used to tell my students all the time, if you can't quantify, then it's a subjective lie. And tonight, Gregory Griffith will not lie to you. I live here in South Florida. Sorry for that little technical glitch. It threw me a curveball, but I want to get right into the heart of things tonight. The Surgeon General in Florida has mandated that you don't have to have a vaccine if you don't want one. A vaccination, the vaccine, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm talking about, and it's very, very scary. And the reason why I'm saying it's scary is because for one perspective, and what's the lady's name? I want to make sure I don't know Celine Gounder is her name. She's the director of public health for this country. She was on CNN the other day, and she had a perspective about the impact, the obscure implications that will surface themselves because we're just acting like it may not become a domino effect when one state does something, then another state does it, then another state does it, and then the next thing you know, we could have, an epidemic going because kids are going to get sick. And the parents are saying, well, I don't have to, then I'm not going to, and they still send those kids to school. Let me tell you something. I'm thinking about my teachers, my colleagues that I was with for 31 years as a teacher. And I knew if I went back to the school system this year and they told me, oh, man, kids now deciding whether they want to come and get their vaccinations or not, boy, that would make me uncomfortable. Because Billy or Johnny or Sarah or Susie come to school, Michael or Mary, and they sit down and they start coughing and getting all kinds of things going on with them. It's no different about any sickness. You want to put in preventive measures. So kicking the show off tonight, I wish I had someone, if you are live, you want to make a comment to me or let me know what's going on. I'm saying to you right now, I'm a little bit nervous about this. And honestly speaking, even if you're not in the classroom and you're just a citizen in Florida, and all of these kids who are just all of a sudden, they're not going to be vaccinated. Man, that's scary. And they're saying they already have a shortage of bed space in hospitals for minors, for young people, just a wing that's just for you to take care of these young adolescents and young people. Imagine that. We don't have enough space to accommodate already. Then there's going to be the situation where more kids are going to definitely get sick. There's no question about it. Now, I have a paper here, man, that's a document that's saying, wow, back in 1962, you only had to get 3 vaccinations, 3 vaccines, 3. Fast forward 20 years later, 1982, 83, it went up to 24. And now, right now, 72. I mean, this, I don't know. It's every single decade, there's been an increase in what the government was saying was mandatory until just a few days ago that were non-negotiables. They're talking about the autism rates, and a lot of people are saying that the vaccines might be causing it, but boy, it's just, honestly speaking, for me, man, it's scary. It's scary because I don't think that for all of the years that I went to school from first grade through 12th, when you were a little one, I can remember back in the day, you had to get those shots, the measles, the mumps, the chicken pox, all those things that could still, obviously, still be out there and get in our systems. I mean, not to mention, we just went through COVID-19, what 4 or 5 years ago? So just wanted to kick the show off tonight. I would love to get anyone's perspective on this, that the GG Factor is giving you his perspective tonight, that your health is your wealth. And no matter what happens, that at the end of the day, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of scary. I want to mix things up tonight and talk about a little this and a little bit of that. I was watching the VMA Awards the other night, man. What's today? Tuesday? That was, Miriam, that was Sunday night, wasn't it? Man, I happened to just turn the TV on, and boy, you know, the millennials or whoever they are, that's the young people right now, man, they slam dunking with this music business. But they had some, should I say, special awards to some of the old school veterans. And my man, Ricky Martin, woo, my man, Busta Rhymes, boy, look at here. Both of those old school guys came out there and they took care of big business. And here's what I want to talk to you about that relates to the music business. I'm a musician. I know the work people have to put in to reach the next level. I knew what it felt like just to get 2 record deals in my life, 3 record deals in my life, to put records out there, to have promotions, to get the masters done, to get everything done with an attorney. People don't understand what's going on behind the scenes in the business. And when you see people who are old school, who Ricky Martin made Living La Vida Loca back in 1999, year 2000. That's 25 years ago. And boy, let me tell you something. When you got it, you got it. It reminds me, I was up in Orlando about 2 or 3 years ago, and I saw Morris Day and the Time doing Jungle Love and The Bird and just kicking it. And my point to all of that is this. They believe that they could monetize their passion. They believe that without a doubt, I'm going to stick it out and it's going to work for me. And Ricky Martin went through a whole bunch of things, man. He went through a bunch of things about just coming out about his sexuality. He went out about a bunch of things about becoming a father. He went out about a bunch of things because he was already really a child star. He did, he did soap operas and stuff, right? Ricky Martin did Latin soap operas, and the kid was really, hey, let's face it, he got it. But I will never forget 25 years ago when he came out and sang that song, La Vida Loca, and Madonna and everybody you can name endorsed him. And well, when you got it, you got it. Shout out to Ricky Martin, and just saying to him that he is a classic example that when you got it, you got it. You know, that's like talking to Anita Baker. She's going to have it no matter what happens, you know, talking to people who've just been around for a long time and doing what they're doing. Now, I can't call the girl's name, and I'm feeling bad about it. Oh, man, I meant to write that down. She opened the show. Boy, you know, I'm just telling you, man, obviously Mr. G way beyond the VMA kids and all that, but the musician in me is I can't call it something deep, Deaf I Cat. Forgive me, man. I don't even know the girl's name, but man, when I saw her body language and saw the way she was moving and the way she put all of her heart and soul into about 4 or 5 minutes of opening that VMA show, MTV Video Music Awards, boy, look at here. And let me tell you somebody else, and if you get a chance and you can go back and just check out a few of these, I can't call that girl's name. It's Doja Cat. That's what he came to. Doja Cat. Boy, look at here. Woo! I'm here to tell you, boy, we hear the music, but it's something about when we're looking at it and we see it in motion the way she was that night. I say to myself, boy, she's come a long way. She's been around the block a minute too. Doja Cat is her name. My apologies. Like I said, I don't stay on top of those artists like I probably should, because I am still in the business. Yes, I'm still performing. I still do my thing. But let me tell you something. That Lady Gaga, wow, the epitome of perfection, the epitome of saying, I own this. Her and Bruno Mars got a great song together. But boy, she did that. Is it Abracadabra is the name of that song, Maru? Yeah. Boy, let me tell you, she's such a busy woman. She comes to the VMA Awards. She accepts her award, but she say, I got to scoot out of here, because she had a sold-out crowd at Madison Square Garden. See, the reason why I'm bringing up what's trending and what's the perspectives on it is this. When you love something, it loves you back. It's called passion and purpose and possibility. Every Thursday night, I have a masterclass to empower you, to inspire you, and I call it my Strive Masterclass for one reason. I'm talking about people who have studied, trying, remembering, retention, intervention, intention. They have visualization, and they educate themselves forever. That's my acronym for the word Strive. Study, try, remember, innovate, visualize, and educate yourself forever. And that Lady Gaga, and then that's why I know she's a hard-working sister. After we see her accept her award, give all the kudos to everybody she could, she jets out. They stream her live at Madison Square Garden. And then I turn on the TV a little bit later that night, and she's on Stephen Colbert, kicking it. So you just say to yourself, when you got it like that, you got it like that. So shout out to Lady Gaga, Doja Cat, Ricky Martin, Busta Rhymes, man. He was like, he talks so fast that you don't understand, but you couldn't understand what I'm saying, but I was able to see what I'm trying to do. Man, this guy was incredible. All kudos to him. Well deserved. They finally gave Mariah Carey a VMA award. So she was moving like a snail up there, man. I don't know what's causing her age. I don't know what the deal was with Mariah. She looked beautiful, but she was kind of like so emotional. I'm saying, Mariah, come on. You still got the tools, shake it, baby, work it. Because it's the VMA Awards. She was trying to figure out why they hadn't given her one. Well, from what we could see last night, she sang great, she looked great, but they said Video Music Awards. It's more than just the music. And boy, let me tell you something. Everybody on that show, man, even some of the newcomers, it was phenomenal. Really, really want to tell you, if you got a chance, go back. You may not be a big music fan, but you want to see what people are doing with their intellectual properties to be the best that they can be. It's a game changer. Let's shift the gear. Let's go into politics a little bit deeper. We were on politics about the health situation, and I'm just hoping that the end result will be, there won't be a domino effect that, okay, now Texas wants to do it. Okay, now California wants to do it. Okay, now Illinois wants to do it. Okay, now New York wants to do it. And all these people decide, oh, Florida done it. They don't want to mandate vaccines anymore. We all going to get rid of it. I'm a little nervous about that. I don't know what your perspective or your working paradigm might be, your working model about that. But let me tell you something, man. We have 340 million people in America. And we say that this is pertinent, this is non-negotiable, and all of a sudden, one state, that's why I get a little confused sometimes about the structure of government, because when one state try to do something, but the main state, the big boys in the White House might decide that doesn't work. Man, I just feel like there should be an intervention right there. No, DeSantis, you can't do that. No, Surgeon General, you can't do that. You cannot do that, because if you do, the domino effect might not be so positive. Actually, we know it won't be. So this mandate just went into effect this week, and we don't know what the end result is going to be of this. I don't know if the President administration will intervene, because as we already know, I don't know if you know this or not, Donald Trump executive orders signed, 200 of them. 200 executive orders, and he's only been in office, about 6 months? More than any president in history at this point in their tenure as president. And speaking of Donald Trump, and speaking of what's going on right now, and I said I was going to segue into politics, and I don't want to stay too deep into politics, but man, let's face it. What I'm talking about now is my perspective on what I feel has impact to all of us in this country and globally. We'll be speaking about the Ukraine and Russia. We'll be speaking about Pakistan. We'll be speaking about Palestinian situations. We'll be speaking about the Israeli situation. And then we'll be speaking about the big world leaders getting together this week. It was scary. It was scary to think if they all merge together like that, they're all communist countries coming together, and then they're almost about to pull one of our great allies, India, into the package too. Politics is hot. It's trending, and it's not going anywhere. You know why I'm talking about it? Because it affects us. I'm here to be an inspiration and hopefully empower you with information that you'll be proactive and try to stay a little bit ahead of the curve. Now, speaking of politics and what's going on with our global relations, it's pretty scary. Because just a matter of weeks ago, you know, we thought there was going to be this leeway about what's going on with the Ukraine and Russia. And man, it hurt my heart, man. It hurt my heart. The Russians bombed a main government building in the Ukraine, man. 2-month-old baby, innocent people. Just civilians. Just civilians. Just people who are waking up just like you and I did today. I give all glory to God every day. I wake up in my home, there are no bombs going off. I wake up in my home, if I want to just go for a walk in the park, I can. I wake up in my home, if I want to just go around the corner to the grocery store and I can buy food. If I wake up in my house and I feel like I want to turn on or do something, or if I want to go outside to get in my pool, I can. Do you realize as we sit still right now, how much chaos, how much turmoil, how much political chaos is going on in our world today? You know, I don't want to get too deep about it, but it's scary. It's very, very scary. I reminisce back to the first meeting with Zelensky and Trump in the White House, how aggressive our administration was, and the end result of that. It didn't solve anything. It was just a flex of ego. And that always makes me just uncomfortable, because sooner or later, everything that's going on around that world comes full circle and we all feel it. And I felt so bad for those innocent civilians, man. I mean, in a blink, I think they said about 200 or 300 drones just went over and dropped every day, bow, and gone. Just like that, gone. Israeli did the same thing over there in Palestine. Hit a building that's supposed to be with Hamas. Boom, but guess what? Innocent kids, innocent civilians, people who have nothing to do with war. They just want to wake up like you and I and survive. And I don't know if there's an answer. I really don't know if there's an answer that someone is going to say, okay, we can stop now. And think about it. It's all now, when you're dealing with Israeli and you're dealing with the Palestinian situation, of course, it's retaliation to October 7th. But when you start talking about Russia and the Ukraine, that's a whole different animal. This man over there in Russia, Putin, all he wants is power. He got enough, but he still want to come to a place that where people are just living like you and I, and all of a sudden, in this bill, Maru, how long has that war been going on? I don't know. I don't know exactly, but a couple of years now. Oh man, it's scary. And you try not to go so deep with this stuff, but when you wake up, you know, you want to try to be abreast of what's going on around you in America, what's going on globally. You hear this stuff, it hits home, man. I was a little kid. I used to go to the playground all the time and I'd get on my bicycle and ride around anywhere I could go. These people don't have nothing. They have nothing left. So I don't know if there's a solution. I guess it was just a facade, the meeting of the minds that thought there would be some resolutions and that there would be a ceasefire permanent that was coming up, but it didn't happen. Now let's shift gears. That's globally. And I'm just going to put our prayers out there for them, the innocent ones, for everyone but the innocent ones. It's like a legal massacre, you know. And they say, well, we told them and warned them to get out. Where do they have to go? Where can they go? So why does that have to be your alternative? Why does that level of aggression have to be oblivious to the reality that innocent people are going to lose their lives? And you know, like I say, when I have these shows on my own, I'm just a guy with perspectives about what's going on around us and the impact. And let me tell you something. Speaking of what's going on around us, you know, we were introduced to a lot of new tariffs being mandated by the Trump administration. And what people didn't see was at the end of the day, the domino effect, a lot of prices are going up and it's back to home with the consumers. I always talk about cola. the cost of living allowance. I'm always talking about, well, what's going on? To make more money. Because prices is going to keep going up. It's the fall of the year. You're looking around thinking about, getting yourself a new vehicle. Well, you might as well be prepared. 12 to 15% more money, even a used vehicle, let alone the brand new ones. And then, we went through a big thing about parts that were necessary to manufacture these cars, especially with them mostly being computerized. And there was just a stagnation on movement, and everything stopped. So we're living in this economic society now. We're living with another, should I say, was obscured animal, but now it's out of the box. AI, the artificial intelligence movement right now is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And the reason why I brought AI up right now, and it works with what we're talking about, is because of this. There are a lot of jobs that are being eradicated by AI, a lot of them. But guess what? We found out, and I did my research on this one. I don't care what happens. There are about 400,000 manufacturing jobs in this country that are just unfilled. And you know why they're not filling those jobs? People are not getting the training. And then here's the other thing. And it's all politically like this cocktail or this recipe that everybody just got what they call is the right mix. Because a lot of those almost 500,000 jobs that are not being filled, you know why they're not being filled now? ICE. The Immigration Customs Enforcement Agency, they're showing up on some of these sites. They're coming in at random, snatching people off their jobs. I saw a lady screaming and crying the other day. They snatched her right up off a job. Didn't care what the situation was at home, whether they needed that paycheck, whether there was 2 or 3 kids waiting or not, snatched her right off the street. I saw another situation the other day. I forgot where was this, what manufacturing plant. I can't micromanage you with the information now, but here's the point I want to make. They showed up at this manufacturing plant, handcuffed about, boy, it looked like 25, 50 people, had them all lined up, took them out. The jobs are opening up. It's a domino effect of political interventions. The present administration, like I just said a little earlier, 200 EOs. What is an EO? An executive order. 200 of them. 200 of them. Something else I got to talk about because it hit last week and it's not going anywhere. Governor Pritzker, is it Pritzker is his name? I hope Pritzker, I hope I'm saying it correctly, of Chicago. And what they're going through right now, and the mandate of the National Guard. Every single one of these major cities are saying we don't need it. They got quantifiable evidence that the crime has gone down in Chicago by 32%. And just a contradicting perspective from other people are saying quite the opposite. I was looking for my little notes here to see if I had that written right in front of me, but I really don't. I wanted to quantify even better. I wanted to get a little bit deeper about the statistics that were being just slapped on us that we've come to find out they're very subjective. They're very suspect. When I was a teacher in the classroom, I always say, either you can quantify us a lie and you're suspect and you're subjective. And right now, when you get people who stood on national TV, had like an army of people behind them representing their administration from their city saying, this is what we know to be true. This is what we can quantify. And guess what, man? And the president administration turn around and just tells a lie. And man, I don't know. It's just scary. It's not a whole lot. People like me that I may have opposition to something that I don't like the way it's going down. What can you really do? What can you really do? Is there a voice that's going to be heard? If you try to go in and micromanage yourself or something like that, you need a big army of people to make some change happen. Because right now, if major cities like Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Illinois, and they're talking about other cities right now, and I think it was the governor of Massachusetts, she called it a political theater. She said, there's just things going on from a political perspective. This is just a theater. And hear me, like I said, this is not Greg Griffin just talking. I'm telling you what I've seen in the news. That's really quantifiable. You know, it's not out there like being a bunch of loud noise that nobody can quantify. You know, like that crazy guy. I'm glad they caught up with him, Alex Jones, with whatever wars he called them. It was just terrible. He was just going around making all kind of allegations, saying these kids that got killed wasn't for real, saying people are putting this and that, and he had followers. And it tells you the heterogeneous nature of our country and what kind of population we got out here and what people fall for. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. If you don't stand up and be strong within your spirit, you're going to fall for anything external to you. You got to be strong from the inside out, because guess what, man? The enemy of those negative things are out there, and they're not going anywhere. And all I can say and hope and pray is that at the end of the day, that somebody might hear us crying out here about what's going on and understand that, well, you got 400,000 manufacturing jobs, but you know what? You ran away probably who knows how many thousands. They're telling me now there are people from Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, other countries, because they're immigrants, won't go to work. Some of them not even sending their kids to school. I mean, it's just scary. It's such a fragile temperament in our country right now regarding the whole immigration issue. Of course, we want everyone to follow the due diligence. Follow the protocol in order. Go about it. But if you walk up on someone, and this was very deep. This is what really just made me feel like, wow. Was a lady from Honduras, Maru? I think this lady was from Honduras. It was such a touching story about how muscle with the administration regarding immigration, there needs a place where the buck stop. This lady is a caretaker. The daughter of the father of a man who's been very, very ill. I think he had a stroke and he no longer can work. And this caretaker, who's in the country, she's just been on a work permit for many, many years. They refused to renew the woman's work permit. The man's daughter been taking care of her, and she's screaming and hollering to everybody, please don't take this woman away from my dad. She saved his life. He's so used to her being here with us. And now the woman who's now being threatened to just be deported. She pays her taxes. She works every day. She's done nothing wrong with nobody. What's wrong with that picture? Somebody need to tell me. What's wrong with a picture like that? How can that be for real in this country? There's somebody, a caretaker, that we all know there's a shortage of. We need more and more and more of them. I'm a retired special needs teacher, and I know what it's like when you got to micromanage a kid who can't walk, a kid who can't talk, a kid who can't feed himself, a kid who can't take himself to the bathroom. And when you got adults who like that, who saying they're willing to take care of other adults, and then our administration comes in and say, I don't want you to do that because you're an immigrant. What kind of is that? And I'm not going to cuss tonight, but it's got my blood boiling right now. I don't understand it. I wish there was something we could do. When I'm saying we, I'm speaking of people in general. When you know something's not right, what can you do? You voice your opinion. You wonder if it's even heard, because at the end of the day, the people who are in the big house are making the decisions, and it's a trickle-down effect. So all I can say to you is this. If it's in your locale and you can start maybe a local mandate and get some petitions signed or do something to stop things like this from happening to innocent people who have done nothing wrong. I always say, if it ain't broke, what you're trying to fix. If it's not broke, what you're trying to fix. Immigrants cutting my grass right here and been doing it for years. And I bet you some of these same landscaping companies right now around South Florida are looking for workers because they're scared to come to work. And in this case of this lady, I think this lady is about 53 years old. She's been working with this man who's an elderly man who's just coming back from a stroke, but only to the point that he needs total assistance. He can't perform the ADLs, activities of daily living. He can't work a job. He can't even feed himself, basically. And all the man's daughter was trying to say is, do you have to take him? Do you have to take her away from him, excuse me? That's scary stuff, man. That is scary, scary stuff. Now, why do we even have to go that far with immigration? That's a loaded question tonight. I just want to leave that one with you. So when you hear these things happening like this, and they start to come down the pipe like they do, you just ask the questions. Why do we have to send in National Guard when they're not necessary? Do you realize it costs the American taxpayers $1 million a day in every one of those cities almost? Now, you might have to hold me to that. I don't know if they're saying $1 million a day. Where? Is it every city or one city? That means if we do 4, 5, or 6 of them, and it's $5 million a day, whoa, time 30 days a month. Come on, man. Boy, I could sit here and rattle off a whole lot that could be done with that kind of money for better humanitarian causes. So tonight, I hope that I gave you a couple of wake-up calls. I hope that you understand what's going on around us. I hope this paper I shared with you about all of these vaccinations that are necessary, telling you about what Governor Pritzker is saying there in Chicago, what the mayor in Chicago is saying. We don't need it. We don't want it. Some people on one side of the coin said it makes them feel safer. Other people are saying it makes them feel uncomfortable. And you know what else is really sad? Here's the deal. And this one is where it gets crazy. Where's my paper? I got to say this right. Look at this. There are 750,000 officers in the United States of America. 750,000. And a whole bunch of them are saying, I think we can do the job. Do we really need the mandate of these other people coming in on us? Yes, Miriam, I looked up at you. I didn't want to stop talking to her. I said, oh, thank you for reminding me. I sure will. Listen, she asked me to remind you all about something, but I'm going to do that when I finish this. 750,000 police officers in this country. That's state, that's local, that's ICE, that's border control, that's county cops, that's highway patrol, that's DCF, that's school police. And even they say they got the cops even now over in the libraries. And the point is, that's 750,000 people who are already doing what they do around this country. And you start asking yourself, what's the deal? And you look up and they're sending tanks like it's really a war zone or something. I don't get it. I'm just baffled. I'm just baffled. I'm all about change. I'm all about innovation. I'm all about doing things and stepping out of the box to do what needs to be done. And, and the present administration, man, 47 just said, well, I'm not a dictator. I just want to stop crime. Suspect. Sounds like a private agenda with something to do that will affect you and I in a way that's very much a very uncomfortable situation. So if you want to voice your opinion, go talk to your city councilman, talk to your mayor, talk to your governor, talk to your state representatives, talk to people who know that this mandate, what's going on with us right now, is very, very scary. Everything from the beginning of this conversation about vaccines, about healthcare, about the war. And you know something that's really scary? How much money war is costing us, how many innocent lives. I don't know if there's an answer. So I'm going to segue a little bit. I haven't even stopped to tell you that every Thursday night, I'm excited about it. I got these 2 books here. The one that's behind me, I'm going to hold them up in front of me. Also, these 2 books are my books, and I'm on a mission to empower and inspire people. I believe that if you live in balance, you're successful. I believe if you don't activate a mind, body, and spirit strategy for success, something's going to happen to you. It's like a car. I'll tell you just like this too. If you don't tune up a car, it's going to break down. Your body's no different. Your mental health, your physical well-being, your cognitive abilities, your ability to grow spiritually, your ability to find the right mix of mind, body, and spirit, lifestyle management. That's what my job is. Every Thursday night, the Strive Masterclass, free. All you got to do is DM the word Strive, and it'll take you right to the link. If you're watching us tonight, I've got the Stripe 50% off link right there for you. It's usually $97 a month to come into my Get Activated community. If you're not here and you don't get it there, you can always go to theactivator.net. That's my website. Click the Get Activated community and you're in, man, for $49.99. And I love you to commit for $150, 30, 60, 90 day. I call it my 30, 60, 90 day challenge. I think I can quantify and tell you no lie that I am always asked the question. This is one of my 25 medals as a marathoner. Run 25 marathons. And I'm here to tell you this. I remember when I couldn't run a mile, but I found balance. I remember when my mind was playing tricks with me, but I found balance. I remember when I was thinking, oh boy, I'm already over 40 and letting everything in the world stop me from training and doing the job to become a marathoner. And I did it. And I found a way to empower myself spiritually. I found a way to take better care of myself physically. And I found a way that I know there's only about 10% of my brain being occupied. And man, all you got to do is get the right mindset. The Strive Masterclass is simply about that. It's a mindset, should I say, operation. I think her name is Dr. Leaf. She was on Mel Robbins today. And I'm unconditional plug to Mel Robbins. You know, every time Joe Dispenza, you know, there are people who are out here doing things that will empower us. And today she had this lady I just happened to look up and pop up, and the lady was there. I don't know Dr. Lee's first name, but she is a clinical neuroscientist, just specialist, psychologist in the area of how the mind works with the brain. And like she said, man, everybody keep thinking the mind and the brain connected. Nope. You got your mind where you store stuff, and then your brain takes it from there. And let me tell you something. Mindset is everything. If you see me, I come out on Thursday nights and I'll lean up like this and I'll have my shirt on. I'll usually wear one of these little medals right here and tell people, you can do this. You can do this, but you got to find the balance. You got to find the balance. So unconditional plug, every Thursday night, the masterclass, come on out, DM the word Strive, it'll take you right into the registration, or you can go live. Matter of fact, I'm unconditional plug too. I need about 25 more followers over there on IG. Okay, I just want some more followers over there to come on out because they mandated a new thing to keep my live stream. So all I'm asking for right now is about, not even that. I just need some more followers to keep that live stream going because we're live on Facebook. Like tonight, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn. But I will be live on Instagram. And I want to say it's probably last week because every week I'm so happy to see new people showing up. I'm on a humanitarian cause. When we have a cancellation or even once a month, I'm going to always do the Gigi Factor, give you my perspective, give you things to think about, things that you should be able to say to yourself, I see where G's coming from. And if I've done it, one of the first pages in my book, it always says, you can do it too. And speaking of that, I always grab the book at random and I say, I'm going to just open the book to a page that I feel would be, this is a real good one right here. It's on page 91 of my book. You can go to Amazon.com and get yourself a copy. Or you could be one of the free winners. Just come into the chat Thursday night and put activate. And if you're one of the first 5 or 10 people to do it, I'm going to decide I'm going to give away at least a couple of these books. That's Thursday night. But I want to read something from my book before we get out tonight. Then realize it's, already about 40 minutes that went by home. Maru, you were keeping me on the clock tonight. That's unbelievable. Well, I guess so, man. It's just, I don't know. There's so many things going on in our country that impact all of us. And I almost took my tea before I read this page, but it's called Faith versus Fear. Fear versus faith. Think about that. Are you living from that perspective? Is your faith faculty really activated? Are you steadfast in your faith? Are you letting the fear monster win? I was looking at a reel I did on Instagram last year for Halloween, and I was, you know who I am? I'm the fear monster. And all jokes aside, the fear monster pokes at all of us. Is it poking at you for the next level in life? Is it poking at you to stop you from striving? Are you in a job you need to get out of? Are you in a relationship you need to get out of? You need to lose weight? Do you need to gain weight? Or you have no spiritual foundation? I'm a member of the New Mount Olive Baptist Church in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Shout out to Reverend Dr. Marcus Davison and his executive assistant who's going to be leaving the church, been with the man 10 years, Reverend Frank Kennedy. The sermon was very simply entitled this, Connectivity. Are you spiritually connected? And that's about the one I'm going to read to you right now. Your worst enemy to success is fear. In order to be a peak performer under pressure, you must learn to feel the fear and believe that you can still get the job done anyway. To believe is to have faith. Do it now. And remember, I always have a simple little acronym for the word now. N-O-W, no other way. No other way. And I got to read this to you. So just hear this. This is about me and the fear monster in a situation in my life as a kid. How many times will the fear monster win? How many times will the fear monster win? You know the monster in every thought that sends a resounding negative, pessimistic message of failure if you try to accomplish anything that takes you out of your comfort zone. Okay, somebody hear me over there. It's normal to feel uncomfortable about the unknown, but faith is a belief in that which is not seen. Where is your faith? There's a place in the challenge that's never seen until you step out of the box with faith. And that's the truth, my friends. You ask Tyler Perry or you ask my man, Steve Harvey, they'll tell you that truth. I can remember this so vividly. And I don't even have to read it verbatim because I know this story like a clock. It's right here in the book. It was about the time that I was a kid growing up and learning how to swim. And I learned to swim pretty good. And I learned to just jump off the little low diving board all the time. But I always yearned for the high diving board. And I'm going to use that as I close tonight as a metaphor to your life. But I'm going to talk about Gregory Griffith as a little kid in 4th, maybe 5th grade. Been swimming a lot, local pool in the area. What a blessing we had one. And I learned to swim. But I learned how to just jump off the little low diving board and go in the deep end and swim back to the ladder and get out. But then I wanted to go to the high diving board. And I would always look at it and I look up at it and it seemed like this monumental, like, oh boy, can I really do this? And one day, my brother Nelson, it's always been like a father figure to me, took me to the park, took me to the pool, was there with me, just happened to be with me there on that particular Saturday. I was old enough and cool enough to go to the pool and go to the park by myself. Back in the day, we never worried about somebody snatching your kid off the street. And, I would go. This particular time, my brother went with me. And I told him, hey, man, I think I want to hit the high diving board today, Nelson. I want to go to the high diving board. And, boy, I made one of the I called it a mistake back then, but in retrospect, it was what? A step out of the box moment. The fear monster didn't continue to win. All my other friends were going to the high diving board. I was jumping off the live dive, doing jackknife, doing the swan, man. I never got as bodacious as my son, Greg Jr., who can just flip forward and backwards like nothing. Even he could run without the swimming pool and jump and flip himself. And to this day, I go, wow, I'm in awe of that. Divers have always amazed me. So this particular Saturday, I'm going to make this real quick to you. I got in line with all the kids, and there usually be a line to go to the high diving board. My time came. I stepped to the ladder. I went up a few steps and I really got like this fear monster just telling me you can't do it. You've never been to the high diving board. It's too high for you. You don't even know how to jump off it. You've never been there. You can't. And I finally just say, oh boy, I turned around. I went up one step at a time and I got to the top of the ladder to the high diving board and I stood up there. I got that far. Then I walked out and I'm telling you the absolute truth. And I know this is true about many of us. To do something you've never done, you got to be something you've never been. You got to do something you've never done. To be something you've never been or do something you've never done, you're just going to have to step out of the box. I got up there and it felt like eternity and I was terrified. And I turned around to go back and go. And my brother said, Gregory, get your butt back up there. You're not coming down. You're going to jump. My friends, that felt like eternity. I stood there. I was welling up. I was scared. I was trembling. My little body was shaking. But guess what? Something in me said, yes, I can. Something in me said, yes, I will. Something in me said, yes, I must. And I ran and I sprung up and I jumped off that high diving board. And it felt like it felt like eternity. It felt like, will I ever feel my, and when I hit it and I realized you did it. I pushed myself back up, swim back to the ladder, got out. Woo! And you know what? That was the beginning of me understanding the fear monster is always there. Now, I want to use this as a metaphor to life. Let me tell you something. I went on to just swim like crazy, jump up and do jackknives, swans. You know, I never did start doing flips and all that good stuff, but I had the tenacity and the audacity to function in the capacity. I want to help you in my scribe class on Thursday nights get that monster off your back. Maybe it's your first marathon. Maybe it's your first book. You know, maybe it's a new restaurant. Maybe it's a landscaping business. Maybe it's a digital marketing platform that you want. Whatever it is that's stopping you, and it's the fear of failure that's winning the game, you can say, yes, I can. You can say, yes, I will. Yes, I must. And you know something, man? Nelson Mandela said it, and I say it every week on this show. It always seems impossible until you step out of the box, get it done, remain what? Persistent and consistent. And once I realized that I could jump off that high diving board and the world wasn't going to end, and even if I'd have jumped and hit my back, but I didn't. I jumped right in feet first, and it wasn't very long after that, I did my first real dive. It was just a miracle to get me to just go up there, because I went up and looked down. I said, oh, no, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can. And I jumped. I jumped a few more times. And it took me a few times just going to the pool and going up and just enjoying being able to jump. And I finally decided I wanted to take a real dive. I wanted to do a swan. Or I wanted to do that jackknife where you bend down and touch your toes and straighten your body all the way out. And man, I kept practicing it on the low diving board. And the same thing happened. I went up there and I tried it, and it worked. Because if you're doing a jackknife and you don't do it right, and you bend down too far over, you're going to bust your back. And boy, let me tell you, a stingaree will get you if you do that. And I was always letting the fear of that kind of thing happen to me. And every other thing in my life, I'm going to share this with you and say goodnight to you. You're always closer than you think. It's not nearly as difficult as you think. And every time the old clock on the wall gets in the way of it all, it's never too late to be great. I'm sitting here doing the GG Factor tonight because I decided I wanted to do something like this. I'm doing a master class on Thursday nights because I decided I want to do something like this. I want to inspire people. I want to empower people. I want to do something from a humanitarian perspective. My sister gave me a shirt that says, determined to leave a legacy. And there was something I wrote down that Carmel Anthony said, and it's so relevant to what we're talking about tonight. I wonder if I got it. Boy, he said something. He said when he had his kids, he said that was a game changer for him. He said it changed the whole way he looked at his life. He changed everything that he stood for. And he was sitting there. He was a keynote speaker for the college that he graduated from. And Carmel Anthony, think about this. His son was going to that same college. His son becoming a basketball player. That's like LeBron James having his son on the LA Lakers with him. Come on, man. What are the odds of that? But they both got that same philosophy about the legacy, about how powerful it is. I really wanted to share this with you tonight. My apologies, I don't see that, but Carmel Anthony, he said something that was so profound. It wasn't about leaving a legacy. It was about being the legacy, being in the moment, being there for your son, being there for your daughter, being there for them, showing up in their lives. You are their role model. They watch and absorb everything that you do. I remember all the bad habits I had as a young kid, and somebody would always correct me because they were doing things that I wanted to do, being what I wanted to be in the capacity I wanted to. And Carmel Anthony, when he spoke about that, I'm sorry, I was looking for that because I wanted to read it to you verbatim. But you know what I did run across tonight before we wrap up? And I'm going to leave it on a positive note. The senior citizens are getting, you know what, up. I'm just going to say effed up. The senior citizens out in California, because guess what, man? 46 other states have made it legal to get medical cannabis, medical marijuana. And I thought, Maru, you almost let me forget this one. I didn't want to get out of here on sharing that tonight. They have now made it legal in 46 states. or is it 40 of them? I don't know exactly how many of them is it. It's 40 states. 26 states have made it legal for recreational purposes. You don't need to have a medical reason why. 26 states, and almost all of the ones on the West Coast got both. They got medical and they got regular recreational. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this. There's a retirement community called Trilogy over there near San Francisco. The health benefits to smoking marijuana have been quantified. That's why I have no problem with anybody saying they need to do this. It's the recreational people. Don't really need it, just want to get high and doing their thing. And they showed this 72-year-old woman rolling up a joint. She said, yeah, this is the way we used to do it in the old school. She hit the joint, she smoked, and she's sitting there with the guy on that was CBS this morning, right, Maru? Yeah, it was CBS this morning, which I love. I highly advise you, if you're not doing nothing and just staying home and you didn't go to church. I watched it before I went to church. But let me tell you something, man. That was a very powerful segment about the benefits of smoking and eating cannabis for health purposes. The golf course are in competition with the leisure time now. More people are staying home, chilling out, just getting high and using it for medical reasons. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a big advocate of that. I'll do no drugs. Been through enough of that in my lifetime to say not necessary. My high is the cap that I wear every week, God first. That's the one that will take you to a place where you don't even want to come down from it. And all I can say to you is this. This has been Out of Sight tonight. I absolutely enjoyed it. There's nothing you can do about it. I hope some of the things I shared with you gave you insight tonight. I hope me sharing a little excerpt from my book about fear versus faith, how you too can step out of the box. I have 26 strategies I share every week with people. And I never really always get A through Z, but I always get through A through G. Okay, and A through G is simply this. Take action, have yourself an action plan in mind, body, spirit. Believe in yourself that you can do it. Be bold as a lion. Know you're the captain of your ship. If I leave you with anything else, let nobody else direct your ship but the spirit within you. And trust me when I tell you a little secret. There's no power out there greater than the power within you. The Strive Masterclass on Thursdays is about that. My Stripe membership right now, the Get Activated community, only $49.99. Come on in, man. I'll help you find that balance. Take action. Believe in yourself. You're the captain of your ship. You got to have a burning desire, a dream, and you got to have that discipline. A, B, C, D of my 26 strategies to A to Z strategies. Those first four right there are game changers. Taking action, got to have an action plan. You got to have an action plan in your life. You got to have lifestyle management that keeps you moving. People ask me, man, why don't you just take your retirement, man, or take your pension and get your Social Security? Just chill out, man. I'm 70 years old. I don't feel like it. I don't think about it. I don't care about telling nobody my age. I'm still living my life. I'm just excited to be in a place where I can do whatever I want when I want it. And you know something? It feels good. It feels good to me to feel like whatever I'm doing matters. It feels good to me to know that there's something left in me that keeps me going, that and I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by the fact that I just want people to feel that if I've done it, you can do it. Take action, believe in yourself. You're the captain of your ship. You live with a burning desire, and you have that dream that you have, and you're disciplined about it. You are personally empowered when you do these things, and you do it with relentless enthusiasm. I will never forget many years ago as a teacher, and I wanted to go into the auditorium for the first time to speak to kids and speak to teachers, and I was terrified. It felt like a high diving board moment, the metaphor to the high diving board. You know, to be something you've never been, you got to do something you've never done. And the only limitations that exist are the ones you place upon yourself. If you say, I can, it's a sure shot that you won't. But if you say, aha, yes, I can. If you say, yes, I will. If you say, yes, I must. If you say, yes, I can. If you say, yes, I will. If you say, yes, I must. I'm telling you, you must trust the process. When I click my music back in, I'm going to say good night to you tonight. All I'm saying to you is this. Stay fired up about it. Stay focused about it. Never let your guard down with your faith faculty. Set your realistic 30 days to renew you goals. Set these goals. Get your monthly goals going on. And I'm telling you, man, something will happen in your life. Something will happen in your life. This is a game changer. Time management. The very last one of those first 7 goals: action, belief, commitment, desire. You're empowered, you're fired up, you're steadfast in your faith. And that 7th one there said 30-day goals. Your goals got to be an action plan that every month you can take an analysis. And that's why, actually, if you come into my Get Activated community, go to the activator.net, click Get Activated, click the 50% off, $49.99, unconditional. You get a copy of one of my books. You get me once a month. You get my Get Activated community every Thursday at 7 o'clock, like-minded people who are looking and seeking for the next level, to define themselves. You should always want to take your life to the next level and enjoy the process. There's no way I ever could have run 25 marathons and tell you that, oh, I love running. The only reason I'm not running enough, I had a meniscus surgery after 25 marathons. I know I would be running marathons. There would be no cap on how many I would want to do. I would just do them because I can. And it's all mindset. That's all it is. So all I share with you every week is this, man. Define yourself. Activate your true identity. Know there's a better version of you, another version of you. It may mean going back to school. It may mean getting your own intellectual property. Do you realize I tell people this every week? These 2 books can pay me for the rest of my life. I mean, all I can do is get out here and get my grind on, get my hustle on. That's the absolute truth to you. And I realized that when I got paid once 5 digits for 20 minutes of speaking, and every single one of the schools had my books when I left that stage that day, right here in Broward County. This book was placed in all the vocational schools. If you want to write your first book, get my intellectual property. I'll help you. I bought millions of dollars in real estate. I still own an apartment building in Tampa, Florida. Why wouldn't I help you get your first property? Think about it. We all need a mentor every now and then. I've had them, will still continue to get them, because somebody knows something you don't know that'll save you. What my man called, he's one of my mentors, James Melanchak. He will give you a system, a blueprint, a formula. And the acronym for systems tonight, and I think I'll leave that with you and get my music going again, is very simple. SYSTEMS. Save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. So until Thursday night, but next week, oh, Maru, you didn't help me do this. Boy, we got a great married couple coming on. They are entertainers. They are entrepreneurs. They are authors. They have their intellectual properties going on. Chadwick and Brittany, man, Watkins. And Brittany, one of my best friends in the music business, Dr. James, Johnny James, unconditional plug. Went to see him the other night at Uncle Mike's, and the boy 70 years old like me, and boy, he had his groove going on. He was really doing his thing, man. So I'll tell you something. If you love it and I love it back, get yourself a system. Let me help you do that. Come on to the Strive Masterclass on Thursday night. Come on out next Tuesday night to see Brittany and Chadwick, man. They are absolutely unbelievable. Matter of fact, if you're in the South Florida area, I'm going to see them Friday night. They're at the Hard Rock Cafe over there. Go over there and check them out. I'm just telling you right now, man. See, they got skills that they can monetize for the rest of their life. Do you have some? Can you monetize your passion? Do you know how to do that? I got called unexpected tonight to go do a performance tomorrow night because I got intellectual properties that I can use for the rest of my life. I watched the VMA Awards the other night, and I saw those people just doing what they're doing, and I look at those young, inspiring people and the level that they've taken it to. Let me tell you something, man. Everybody loves a winner. How quickly we forget about second place. Be a winner. Define yourself. Until the next week, I'm going to click on out of here and tell you, see you Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Remember, DM Strive. That's all you got to do. I'll go to the activator.net and click the Get Activated community. It'll pull you right into our Strive Masterclass on Thursday night. Until then, my friends, be blessed. Woo. Yes. The GG Factor, it was my perspective tonight. Hope I didn't offend anyone, but I'm just speaking truth.